Hi, I'm John Black from Daly Black. I'm here to talk today about something that's affected all of us in every community across the country, and that's the coronavirus, and what impact it's having on businesses and people around the nation, and how it might affect insurance policies that you may have. First of all, I hope everybody, clients, former clients, friends, family, are staying safe and are staying isolated and heeding whatever rules and regulations your local government and state government has enacted. They're incredibly important. Second, I want to talk about insurance. The biggest issue that I'm coming across right now is whether or not you've got business interruption coverage and whether or not that covers any kind of interruption from the coronavirus. Business interruption policies or business interruption claims typically cover any kind of loss of revenue where your business has suffered as a result of a loss or direct physical loss, as some policies say. The question I get all of the time these days is, am I covered? Does my business interruption policy cover a coronavirus loss? The lawyer answer is, it depends. It depends what your policy says. It depends what the courts or the laws in your state say about these kinds of policies. But generally speaking, the short answer may also be, it could be that the losses are covered. Now, the insurance industry is fighting very hard to make sure that these losses are not covered. Why? Because the losses could be quite possibly the largest wealth transfer between insurance companies and businesses in the history of the United States if they're successful. That is, the losses are so large across the board that insurers may not have the money to cover them all. That notwithstanding, in many instances, the policies that do speak in terms of a direct physical loss should cover it. Why? Well, because as you might imagine, the virus, which cannot be seen, frequently is in places of business, places of, it could be anyway, restaurants, hospitality industry. And though you may not see it, it's on surface areas. The science is still evolving, but what we know now is that it can reside on surface areas for days at a time, maybe even weeks at a time, depending on the type of surface area. Is that a direct physical loss? I think so. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Something that you cannot see but that contaminates or affects your business, like smoke, is a direct physical loss. Why a virus wouldn't be, I don't know. Now, some policies have exclusions. Back in the mid-2000s, 2013, 14, insurance companies started excluding virus or pandemic type events because of SARS and other types of outbreaks. So some policies do have exclusions. If your policy has one of these, well, you're not covered, and there's really no way to get around it. But a lot of policies don't include these exclusions. So then the question becomes, is there a loss or not? The other issue that comes up in these policies is actions by civil authorities. Well, what does that mean? Well, sometimes a state or local government enacts an order that says your business cannot operate. Now, this is really important because places like Harris County, places in Colorado, Florida, have already enacted orders that essentially say, hey, local businesses, residents, stay indoors. You cannot operate. You can't operate now or for X amount of time. Well, naturally, those orders prohibit or prevent businesses from operating. A lot of insurance policies cover these types of events, actions taken by the civil servants and civil authority orders. You can imagine, as an example, back years ago when there were riots in Los Angeles, if the governor had enacted or the mayor had enacted orders saying, hey, business, you need to shut down your business. You cannot operate your business because of the unrest, the civil unrest. Even though nobody threw something through your window, even though there was no direct physical loss, if you've got civil authority coverage, I think there's a very good argument that you should be covered for business interruption related to it, right? You can't operate your business in the midst of riots, regardless of whether or not someone has thrown something through your front door, through your window. So, if policies have this language, I think there is a very good argument to be made, and I think it's the right argument, that coverage exists and should exist, because the entire idea behind this kind of language and this kind of coverage is to protect you in the event that a government or civil servant has shut your business down. So it's important to figure out what are the rules currently in your jurisdiction, what orders are out there, and do you have this kind of coverage? Finally, there are certain specific types of coverages for events that have been canceled. Those tend to be more broad in the sense that if you had an event, a concert, a gathering of some sort. In Texas, South by Southwest is a well-known example. Events like that typically buy insurance to cover the potential losses if their event is canceled for any reason. Those policies very rarely have exclusions for pandemics and more frequently include coverage for really any type of disruption to the event and are typically covered. So where does that leave us? Our law firm is at the forefront currently of looking at this issue, analyzing these policies, and we plan on filing cases of significant value in the near term and testing these cases in the courts. Why? Because this is one of the most important issues to come across our desk ever. And it will be the single largest matter of import for businesses in the coming years. You've got companies that are literally shuttering right now, closing down, tens of thousands of people filing for unemployment, record rates currently. And so this kind of coverage is essential. If it exists and it's not excluded, it is essential for insurers to do what they promise to do, which is pay in the event of these kinds of losses. And our law firm is going to do that. So if you have questions about your policy, if you want to know whether or not you're covered and you want to know whether or not your policy should pay because of the disruption caused by coronavirus, send us your policy. We'll look at it, no charge. We'll analyze it and let you know what potential losses or potential coverages you may have, and we'll visit with you about it. Our goal here is to help businesses and individuals that are affected by insurance companies that wrongfully delay or deny or underpay claims. And this will be one of the biggest fights we've ever had. And we're in it with you, and we ask that you continue to stay home, heed social distance warnings, and operate your business as safely and remotely as we've done here as you can. But as you do that, and you have questions about your coverages and your policy, please send those to us. We look forward to helping you, and we pray that you stay safe and that we all get through this together. Thank you and be well.